Hey guys, it's Toy Hunter Tony here. This is episode 4 of this week's Behind the Hunt podcast. Welcome to our, studio? What do you want to call this? I am flying solo tonight. Michael's gone on vacation to Sevierville, which is kind of funny. We were just there over the weekend to see my son Max play football. But Mike's out of town. Nikki and I have been working on a deck all week. Mike's helping us too, but we're exhausted. It's hard to do a full-time job and then come in here and hang out. It takes us about 2 hours to prep for a video. Tonight we had prepped for episode 227. We had a huge week of ratio books that came out at our local comic shop. If you did not know, we get our new books at Acme Comics here in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina. And we shot a quick little Instagram video or reels, I guess you would say, for YouTube for new Transformers. Holy crap. Did you guys know that Skybound Transformers #1, huge book right now. The 1 in 100 is flying off the shelves. It's going anywhere from $140 to $160 on average, but $180. I've seen one for $200. It's just crazy. It's a foil incentive, and I was lucky enough to pick one up. I was excited about Void Rivals. If you didn't know, that is the Energon universe. That's where Transformers and G.I. Joe are in the same universe, and there's a 4-part miniseries, and there was a 1 in 25 variant, and it was like a secret variant, and I didn't get it. I looked through my recent new books and I missed it. It was on the shelf, and I think I picked the other one. Not knowing what I was leaving on the shelf, but that thing has skyrocketed. So then I learned my lesson really quick, and I asked them if there was any ratios for Transformers available, and I'll be damned if I didn't get the 1 in 25, the 1 in 50, and the 1 in 100. We will be featuring them in this week's episode 227, Top 10 Hot Comics featuring ratio comic books, ratio variants. And if you didn't know ratio variants, I touched base on it the other night. So if you order, let's say we have 100 subscribers, and all 100 subscribers love Spider-Man, so they all get Spider-Man. So then we'll put in an order of 100, maybe 115, keep 15 copies on a store shelf. Or we'll say, let's bump it up to 125. So we'll get 125 of them. So if we order 125, so if there's 1 in 25 variants, obviously we've got 5 of them coming from, and we know the cover ahead of time, and we'll order heavy if we believe in that artwork and that book is going to be awesome. And then what they'll do is they'll surprise us with another 1 in 25 variant sometimes. And then they'll, like the 1 in 50. So we'd only qualify for 2 because we got 125 of them. And then because we got 125, we qualify for 1 in 100. That's it. That's why they call them ratio books. And they do make 500 and they do make thousands, but those are huge orders. And Diamond, when they lost their distribution to Penguin for like Marvel, they had all these ratio books that they had in stock, and those are the ones that got packed in those Marvel 3-packs and were selling at Walmart, and people were finding them in there and they couldn't believe it. A lot of people thought those Walmart packs that people were cheating and just opening them and pretending like, look what I found. But that's not true, because we were able to find some really cool ratios. We got a few of them, but everyone was looking for the 1 in 1,000, the Hulk. It was crazy. But that's what sparked all that interest in those Walmart packs. And then when they sold through them, they weren't in there anymore. And now Penguin, they're honoring it. They're doing like second print, third prints if they have them. But a lot of the other ratio stuff won't get in there. That was just a mistake. It was a lovely mistake, or happy mistake, they would say. But I'm getting sidetracked. I don't have my sidekicks in here keeping me focused. I got a list right here on my wall that I can look at, but I got to look at you, and then it says look here. My boys, they look out for me. I love them. But then so anyways, the ratio books. So we did a huge ratio for episode 226. It got a good response, and you're like, well, what the hell takes too long? So I've got all this. So I've got, geez Louise, I've got 2 weeks ago's new books. I mean, that's 40 new books, right? So we will go through these, which, what the hell did I do with the box? I have no idea. Oh, here it is. I'm just going to sit these in here because I don't want them falling off the shelf. But you process the new books, and then you take the ratio ones out, and I sit them aside in a separate box. And this week's new books are in here, so I'm already behind. And then next week, not next week, so last week, this week, I can't make up my mind. Tomorrow's new books are coming, right? And I haven't even bagged and board and processed last week's. And 2 weeks ago is right there, and I still haven't put them on. There's too much stuff to do, right? And it's hard when you've got 3 or 4 different formats that you're trying to do. We came across a Memorylane, which is an antique mall in Pleasant Garden, North Carolina. And that was real close to where we are doing a deck, and we drove by it on the way in, and then on the way out, I stopped in before they closed today. And I ran into an old friend, Julian. How you doing, Julian? It was cool. It was really surreal seeing him there, but he had a booth there. And I asked him, I was like, if these guys got any comic books in here? And he's like, follow me. And he had a nice little box of comic books that I went through. So I'm like, what the hell? So we shot a on the hunt video of Memorylane. And you guys can check that out. It's coming soon. We've got it prepped and ready to go. But there was some really cool stuff in there, and I'm going to show you. So this is, where'd it go? So there's some really cool stuff. So I was excited, and he had a box of comic books, and him and my son, we all play Magic the Gathering, and we know each other a long time from Gaming Underground. So it was just weird seeing him doing the stuff that I like. His booth had action figures, it had video game stuff, it had Pokemon, it had Magic the Gathering, and he had a box, and he had some money books, and I was like, these are great. And he had great prices on these. I think I spent like $40 on this stuff, and I know there's some value here, but they all need to be pressed and clean. And so I know that I'll look them up, and we'll find the values of them in that condition, and then we'll do a certain, our discount, get them in fair market value. I was disappointed that there wasn't more. So Julian, if you find more, all you gotta do is contact me through here in YouTube. But then his dad's name's Julian also, and he had a booth next door, and came across this Superman 5-pack special collector's edition. Now he's got it for $10, and I was like, you can't pass that up. But this is from 1993. There's 21,000 of these made. That's a lot for these comic books, because this is right around when they were flooding the market. And if you don't know what the white bag is, this is the return of Superman after he died. And I've got like 12 pair of glasses, and I don't have any in here. But let's see if I can read this. It's got the Man of Steel number 22 in here, Adventures Superman 500, Adventures of Superman 501, Action Comics 687, and Superman 78. It was all the return of Superman. I remember these. I remember these. I bought them and sold them. I was selling this pack for $25 back in the day when these first came out. I bought like 10 of them, and you sell them for 10. And then what I did is I went out and then I bought more secondhand, and I raised the prices. I think I paid when you first got these, you got these for like $7, I think, and markup was $3 at the time. And then I think if you got them at a certain discount price, right? But as there's tiered systems. Now I'm just rambling on about old comic books. But that 93 is when I was in Vortex in Sylva, North Carolina, and then it's pretty cool. So I enjoyed the store. And my mom, hey mom, how you doing? And my mom, she ran it because you know how hard it is when you open up a comic book store. You gotta go have a real job. So it's kind of like I'm living the dream, right? I got a job, and then I still get to dabble in comic books. But it's funny because when I saw this, I just got it. I am gonna do a reveal video, and then I'll edit it in, which takes time, right? I'm running out of power here, so now I don't know where the hell my cord is. Jeez. You'd think if I'm going to run my podcast tonight that I would have this charged, but just like other things, it's hard. Oh my goodness. And if you guys are just listening to my voice, I just adjusted the camera and plugged in my cord. Nick was making fun of me from our first podcast, and then Michael came in. Michael is having a good time. He was trying to interact with me, but he had no idea. He was trying to get me to talk about Acme Comics and these really cool Godzilla covers, but I haven't processed the books, so I had no way to show them to you. So I had to divert and talk about Godzilla posters. And then after we did our podcast episode, he's like, why didn't you let me talk about it? And I was like, I couldn't show you. This is a video podcast here on YouTube, so you're supposed to have stuff to back it up with. So this is going to be oh shoot, did I just show you something cool? All right, I'll show you something cool. So I'm gonna have these. This is going to be we're going to edit that into a on the hunt video and do a reveal of the books that we got, which I just kind of showed you on our upcoming On the Hunt episode. And if you don't know my format, we hit record and we go right through it. You get screw ups, mishaps, and Nikki always promises to edit it for me, and then I find out he just puts it on there one full course. But every once in a while we'll do something stupid and we'll just have to start all over again. But I've learned you just have to go with the flow. I was getting sidetracked. So I am going to have these ready to go. I'm going to open that up in my video. I am looking for that DC logo, and I don't remember if the comic books in there have the DC logo down in the UPC code. So we'll find out. So you should stay tuned and check out our upcoming On the Hunt video. And then I'm sure you guys are familiar with my format. On the Hunt, we do store reveals, we do unboxings, we do new comic reveals, and then sports clips, stupid humor, family stuff. And then our top 10, which I'm going to show you right now, is ratio books. We were talking about it earlier. It took us about 2 hours to go through this. So there's a misnomer, and it's real funny. A buddy of ours from Sticky Goose. If you go look at his channel, his YouTube channel, it's called Sticky Goose Comics. And he's hit some stores, and I'm like, he's in our neighborhood. And I've gone and hit those stores up, and I interact with him in his channel. And I'm a fanboy from one YouTuber to another YouTuber, but he's got a really nice setup, and he's got a wicked sense of humor, and he's got a parody top 10 video right now. You should go check him out. And and Nick was telling me he's making fun of you, Dad, and I'm like, no, he's not making fun of me. He's making fun of certain other people. And we've talked about that. We followed him on YouTube, so we see his videos. But when they got involved with Whatnot, we don't go to Whatnot. We don't really buy the mystery packs anymore. We bought them there for like 4 months straight, but we never got anything that had any value. It was nice stuff, but just not stuff that I liked. And so we stopped ordering that. And Nick's like, it bothers him that these guys will show you these $34,000 comic books, and they'll show you a picture of them up over their shoulder and tell you that you got to find them. And it's crazy. Why the hell are we talking about comic books from the 40s? Us average guys are never going to come across these $40,000 comic books. We're not going to Heritage Auction. We don't have $250,000 to buy 500 long boxes from the 60s. They're great videos. I love watching them, but it's not very realistic for average Joe to come across on a hunt and find a $40,000 comic book. So it always catches us askew or awry when, like our top 10 videos. So if you don't know, ours is a claim sale. We are trying to sell these comic books. We do take the money, and we don't run, but we're still here, but we reinvest it in other purchases. So we'll buy new stuff and we'll feature them and give you a second chance to buy them. And then we run around and do a top 10 of stuff we find in stores. So we'll go grab it. We have it. If I pull them out of my long boxes, I tell you, it's our stuff. But like these ratio books, I went for this. This is the what does they call it? The bonus book. This is the 1 in 100 foil variant of last week's Transformers. If you did not know, I know I'm getting sidetracked. Sticky Goose. You got to go see that video, and you can figure it out what he's making fun of in our current industry. But if he's jabbing at me, I take that all in good fun. But I don't think it's not aimed at me. Nikki's not even here. I'm looking over there where he normally sits, and it was funny because Michael got rid of the stool that Nikki sits in. So when Nikki sits in it, I'm looking at him eye to eye. Michael moved the chair over there, and I'm looking down at him. So the point of view in the video, somebody made a comment, "What the heck are you looking at?" And I was like, well, Michael didn't like the stool. He said it hurt his back. See how easy it is to get distracted here? So anyways, our videos, when Nick and I, or Mike and I, when we get to the top 10, it's the top 10 books that we found in a store, and I always tell you, a $100 hunt or a $20 hunt or a $500 hunt lets you know how much we paid for these books. And then we go and find out fair market value. And Nick wanted me to always explain, we touch base with sales on eBay stores. We've got online stores that we go to. We really go and follow mycomicshop.com. That's a shout out to those guys. They do an awesome job. They've been there a long time. And a lot of people know Mile High Comics, but everyone gives them crap because their prices are so high. But you know what? These stores, even Midtown Comics, right? These stores, they have their collections, they have a large quantity, and they set their own terms. And other people in the industry kind of evaluate where they stand in reference to their pricing. So you know who's high, you know who's low, you know who's just selling stuff. But when you get to eBay, people could have damages, they could have low quantities, they could have a ton of stuff that they came across cheap. And if somebody's selling something for $1 that I paid $10 for, well, I can't sell it for $1 because I'm not going to lose, $9. But then there's so many people the average, the cheap ones disappear, and then sometimes they got aggravations because they're not in mint condition and the different variation in condition. I got to stay focused. It's a stay focused look here. You can tell when I'm thinking. I have to access my brain up here. One of my friends is like, if you look up to the top right, you're lying. And I was like, when people are talking to the police, right, and they're waiting for your eyes to wander, like you're making shit up. And I was like, I see it written in my head, and I have to start at the top of the page, and I work my way down. It's like my video that I did with Acme Comics and Jermaine. It was 115 seconds, and he goes, "It's too long. I'll edit it out." And I was like, "Nope." I had to text the information that he wanted in the video in my head, and I accessed it through the text in my head to look at the camera. Yeah. That's my brain. It's 100 miles an hour. You guys tuned in to see what we're doing behind the hunt. So, man, I'm giving you all this information. So this week's ratio books, we talked about what they are. Somebody was asking once again. So look at this. So if this is the first 3 digits of the barcode, top right side of the barcode. We're going to find a barcode. You could look on here. So that is Wonder Woman. So the large thing is the company, and then this top right over here deals with the issue number. And if you look at those numbers, the first 3 digits are 001. So this is issue number 1, and then it says 16. This first one is the variant cover. So 1 through 9, they would do a variant for the cover. You will see a 10. So they do they do 10, but they won't. It's not 11. So if you see this, it's a 00111. It's issue 1, first cover A, and then it's a first print. If they ever have more covers than they do for that little digit right there, they just get rid of the printing. So there's a lot of these books that have 16, 17, 18, and we always in reference to the alphabet. So you'll say cover A, cover B, cover C, cover D. So 16 is, and I've got it over there because Nikki told me to stop counting on my fingers, is P. So cover P. So a lot of these books are cover P or Q or R. That's a lot of variants. So when they get store exclusives, they'll get various first prints, various covers, artists, and then they'll have ratio books. And then they'll have the 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100. And I noticed like the Wonder Woman, it's an 8, right? And that's, was it F? Let me see. No, 8. F is 6. So she has a 6 on here. Marvels, and then these Transformers, they have such a huge number, it hurts your head. So here's another example, 008. So it's issue 8, and Tony, it could be 21, the 21st. No. This is cover, it's the second cover, which would be cover B, and it's a first print. They're not going to do a 21. They'll skip over it and do it, 22. And then they could have cover 2 of second print. But a lot of times, if you're ordering that many books, you're not going to have that many variants of a second printing. So it's confusing, but hopefully that helped. And then I think I've hit it all. If you want to see the rest of these variants, you're going to have to tune in on episode 227 of our top 10 video, and you can see the rest of them. I've talked about the ratio books. There's some beautiful books in here. It's just insane, but I gotta put them back in order. And if you didn't know, let's see, did I talk it all? What was the other thing? My goodness, I'm missing it. So, okay, I think I'm done here because my brain's not working anymore, and I've run out of my notes. I think I lost it. So we talked about the upcoming episode of On the Hunt. We've talked about an upcoming episode of the 220, 227. And then we talked about the barcode, we talked about ratios, and we talked about Sticky Goose. So go check him out on YouTube, the other channel. And then if you leave a comment, tell him that Tony from Toy Hunter sent you. I don't know. But you can reach me at all on all my my Instagram at toy_hunter _ Tony. And then you can find me on Facebook at Toy Hunters Club. And then my YouTube channel, obviously, at Toy Hunter Tony. But we enjoy this, and we've got a lot of books in here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got five videos just to do of new releases, recent releases. But then we're gonna have new books tomorrow, and I had to get another ratio books in, and then we've got 7 backed up from our On the Hunt videos of recent comic book stores. So Nick's coming in the end of this week, and we're gonna shoot. I think we're gonna shoot 2 or 3 videos, and we're gonna try to get caught up. But thanks for your support. I really appreciate you tuning in to the podcast, and leave some questions down in here, stuff that you're interested in. I know there's a bunch of stuff that we wanted to talk about. Before we go, I got to do a correction. So you've seen here, I went to Lost Boy Comics, and I said they were in Hickory. They're not in Hickory. They're in Washington, North Carolina. Their address, they got a gallery now, and they got a store. And I even mentioned them in a video and talked to them on Facebook. We're going to come by and see you in your gallery. And they're like, awesome. Can't wait to meet you. So we drove through Hickory, and my wife couldn't find it, and she's getting aggravated. And we were going through Hickory to go to Tennessee, and we looked for area comic book stores. Lost Boys wasn't there. We found Time Tunnel, and we're going to do an On the Hunt video episode with them, and then their comic books. So I have to stand corrected. These guys are in Washington. They are northeast. They're up near New Bern, North Carolina. So if you're ever in that area, go see their gallery or check out Lost Boy Comics on .com, on Instagram, and on Facebook. So did I fix it? I think I fixed it. Sorry, guys. I think that's it. That was the other thing that I needed to do, a correction. I'll mess up quite often, and then the boys will ask me to fix it, but I don't always remember to do that. And then, yeah, that's it. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon on the next hunt. And come back here on our weekly podcast and find out some more behind the scenes. I enjoy doing this. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.